should be Mac 11. I'm a higher caliber MC. There's no question.
They dissed me at the LA Sports Arena car show, you know, with like 40,000 people there, you know. And then I did some shit in the Bronx on Rap Sheet's pay-per-view where I had his shirt crossed out with a big red X.
Fans and artists began to take sides.
The shit got pretty deep, you know. I had people from his side coming to me, you know, like, hey man, you know, it wasn't right what he did and blah, 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 and this and that. Pretty soon Cam and Solo came to me.
LA artists Cam and Solo were also in the middle of a business feud with Ice Cube. Meeting Solo at a Los Angeles traffic light, Ice Cube started a fight.
Knocked him down, knocked him out, woke him back up, whooped on his ass. Somehow his chain fell in my hand. I don't know how it got in my hand, but it fell in my hand. Then all of a sudden his Rolex started jumping off and coming into my hand. I don't know how that happened.
I guess Solo knocked out Cube and took his West Side Connection chain.
Solo, sporting Ice Cube's chain, showed up at a Cypress Hill show at the House of Blues in LA.
Be Real put it on and hold it all up into the crowd. Crowd go crazy. They go bananas off of it.
And we're like, well, shit, let's take pictures with it.
Nigga, you didn't take the chain, nigga. Why you wearing it? What you proving, nigga? How many brownie points you getting for that, nigga? You didn't take it. That's the way I felt at the time.
It was a pretty interesting time because, you know, it created a lot of split here in LA between black and brown, you know.
Concern began to grow that the beef might pit neighborhoods, gangs, and races against each other.
It can happen at any minute. It can ignite.
If you're a Latin in the house, if you're a Puerto Latino in the house, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, El Salvadorian, I don't give a fuck what you are. Put your fucking L in the air right now.
A lot of the Latin people were like, hey man, you know, we're gonna ride for you on this one. You just say the word.
They would not want to see Cypress Hill in LA. They get ran the fuck out of LA. Dead up, the essays rule the streets in LA.
Amidst the violent death of Tupac Shakur and rumors that the Mexican mafia was getting involved, cooler heads managed to prevail, and the conflict never boiled over.
Somebody gave me Be Real number and said Be Real wanna holler at you.
He asked me, you know, so what's it gonna take for you and Cube to squash this? I said, you know, just like you, all he's gotta do is call me and, you know, we'll talk it out.
And I explained to him where I was coming from. Nigga, I don't got nothing to do with it, but that's my homeboy, and I'm riding with him. He said, you know what, homie? I can respect that. I can't even be mad at you. I respect that. If that's where you coming from with it, Mac, I respect that.
Cube called me like on, I think it was January 1st in '97. It's like, you know, hey, what's going on, man? Let's talk this thing out, you know? And so I said, yeah, all right. Before we talk this out, this is why I did what I did, because I want you to really know that, you know, this ain't for nothing. The shit we've been talking is pretty heavy, so we can go on, keep doing this, and sooner or later we'll run into each other. You know, it's a small world, you know. If you want to squash it right now, we can squash it. I'll never say any fucked up thing about you as long as you stick to that too, and we'll be friends again, and maybe shit, we'll work together and do something.
If we see Be Real right now, he can come hang with us right now, man. It's cool, for real, because we got past the shit.
I like Ice Cube Chef. I'm a big fan. I was bumping it today, I'm telling you. It's in my CD thing right now.
Definitely, there's no beef whatsoever. I mean, when I squashed it with him and I you know, I said my piece, that was it. You know, Mac 10 too, you know.
Be Real and Ice Cube have worked together since, and while their friendship has never returned to what it was, the beef should be remembered as an instance of a business dealing between artists, almost escalating into citywide violence. It should also be remembered as an example of how two sides can come together to settle a dangerous situation. In a high-stakes business climate that demands huge sales from artists' releases, there is intense pressure on artists to stay hot with fans. Because sometimes, just making good music isn't enough.
Masterfully, I would say, LL's longevity has to do with him mastering the game. He'll put out a record with Boyz II Men that's a love song that's gonna chart without question and sell the album. Now, to the perception on the street, it's like, what is he doing? Blah, 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 blah. But to the industry, it's still another platinum album. What he also does on the album is he would do collaboration with some new street cats, the 4321 with DMX and Cannabis, which is how the battle with him and Cannabis began.
In the late 90s, Cannabis was an up-and-coming MC with a reputation for lyricism and a few noteworthy records. Clearly among a handful of promising talent, he was asked to collaborate with Method Man, Redman, DMX, and Master P for LL Cool J's 4.3.2.1.
L was like a father figure in rap music, and I was just somebody who was coming in the game. I mean, I had done other records prior to 4.3.2.1, but I was somebody who was coming in the game that was really looking for somebody to be under their wing and rock with them and tear the whole game down with them from the inside out.
As a longtime listener and fan, Cannabis knew that LL Cool J had tattooed a microphone on his right arm.
First thing I looked for was the mic. When I saw it, I was like, damn, you know, when you see the mic and you know what it represents, you know that for anybody to put a mic on their arm, when that's saying that damn, this is my life, or this is something that I do very well, something that I did very well and I'm doing very well, or, you know, it's a statement.
While recording 4.3.2.1, Cannabis wrote a verse suggesting that he wanted to borrow the mic from LL's arm. After hearing Cannabis rhyme, LL recorded a response, potentially creating a battle within the song 4.3.2.1.
Because you couldn't see what was in my heart. If anything, you know, that should have seemed like something that was probably flattering.
Nobody ain't took it like that, but I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think Cannabis was going. I mean, come on, I knew Cannabis. I mean, even before he was getting on, Cannabis used to just come spit with the squad all the time, you know what I mean? So he ain't had that attitude of trying to get on to diss anybody. I know that for a fact.
You throw something in the cage, you rattle his cage. He ain't got time to break it down what you meant.
I'll take that mic off your arm.
No. You asked to borrow the mic. Asked to borrow it. He was doing it as a flattery.
Yeah, this is the debate right here. LL is a cultural icon. You don't come out your face and no, you don't borrow nothing. You don't say, you lucky to be on the record.
Perhaps trying to avoid an ongoing battle, LL told Cannabis that if he wanted to stay on the track, he would have to rewrite his rhyme. Cannabis agreed and rewrote the rhymes, thinking LL would do the same. He didn't.
He took something out of context and he ran with it. You know, it's like he always been that way. You heard Break It Dawn.
Let's get back to this mic on my arm. If it ever left my side, it transform into a time bomb. You don't want to bar that, you want to idolize. And you don't want to make me mad, you want to socialize.
With Cannabis's mic verse off the track, LL argued that no one would know who he was talking about. But rumors and copies of the original recordings began to spread around New York. The pressure to answer the disrespect mounted on Cannabis in an allegedly taped phone conversation, widely circulated on the internet. Cannabis was told that the two might publicly squash the beef by doing an underground track together. All Cannabis had to do was wait 2 months for LL to become available.
Niggas is not running around the country knowing about this situation. You got 50 niggas in New York that are in the industry, running around running their fucking mouths. You called me earlier, right? Yeah. Okay. You know what I was doing? I was on the internet. I'm telling you that in Wyoming, niggas is talking about it. I'm telling you that in Texas, niggas is talking about it. In North Dakota. Talking about it, dog. You get what you want to do. You want to add fuel to the fire? You want to you want to address it? I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't want to address the situation. I don't want to do what niggas is out there feeling. Yo, Cannabis niggas. I don't want to do that. The reality is, mentally and emotionally, are you capable of standing the pressure until it comes the time when we can make something happen, when we can kill a noise?
Your career could end if you lose a battle. For some people, that's how they perceive it, especially with people that are coming into the rap game.
Those opportunities to rock, those were my windows to my dream. That was the window to my dream.
The fact that you feel and people are pressuring you to feel almost disrespected or slighted to a certain extent. Got niggas fucking sticking you with a fork talking about, yo, you need to write a 7-hour round about L. Right. Are you capable of standing the pressure?
You know, I won a title a couple of times, did right, but they can't hurt us, man. What we gonna do? Get up in this ring and put a club and show you the
You I'ma let the world know the truth. You don't want me to shine. You study my rhyme, then you laser vocals at the mind. That's a bitch move.
Cannabis counterattacked with second-round knockout.
Eat MC'd for blunt, breath.
You walk around showing off your body cause it sells. Plus to avoid the fact that you ain't got scales. Mad at me cause I kick that shit real niggas fail. While 99% of your fans wear high heels.
Go for yours, dude. Go for yours. And who better than LL Cool J, the greatest of all time?
I studied your background, read the book that you wrote, researched your footnotes about how you used to sniff coke, fronting like a drug-free role model. You disgust me. I know bitches that see you smoke weed recently.
How can someone proclaim one thing and then off the record do another? You know, if you can somehow point that out, I mean, in a lyrical way, and still keep the emotion going, then that'll make a good diss record.
And if you really want to show off, we could get it on live in front of the cameras on your own sitcom. I let you kick a verse. Fuck it, I let you kick them all. I'd even wait for the studio audience to applaud. Now watch me rep the tap from your arm, kick you in the groin, stick you for your Vanguard award in front of your mom, your first, second, and third born. Make your wife get on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan so he can persuade me to squash it. I say no, he started it. He forgot what a hardcore artist is.
Everybody was really like, uh-oh, like this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, LL finally met his match.
But LL Cool J wasn't finished.
Don't ever open your mouth and mention my seed. Talk about my book, you bought to read.
LL and Leroy Cohen realized there was a great opportunity, you know, to kind of jump in there, kickstart, restart LL's career and get him a lot of buzz. And it really did that for LL Cool J.
He ain't understanding this, because 99% of his fans don't exist.
Fans were excited to hear LL Cool J's return to the battle.
He did a lot more with his energy, and he seemed more intense, and it made it look imbalanced, like, you know, he was a superstar and Cannabis is like a young kid coming up. But then when you listen to the content, it was like, I'm not grabbing my nuts saying, yeah, did you hear what he said?
Despite the fact that many fans still consider Second Round Knockout one of the best diss tracks in history, the perception was that LL had defeated Cannabis in battle.
In the long run, L was just too much for him. You know, he just was too much for Cannabis, you know?
Nobody ever played Cannabis out on the mic, indoor, outdoor, you know, on record.
Was it LL's aggressive style that put him on top? His iconic status?
Nowadays, because of media and things like that, you got to be careful on who you jump on, because a company like a Def Jam or somebody at a Universal Music System, they have more suasion than other companies.
I got a mic on my arm too, as an ode to the life of Cannabis, or the ambition of Cannabis, you know?
Whether or not the battle with LL Cool J hurt Cannabis's career, it certainly helped LL Cool J's. In fact, LL Cool J even thanked Cannabis in the liner notes of his greatest of all time album.
You know what's so fucked up, L, is like I always looked up to you, man. You know what I mean? It's ill, cause just like if you were to put yourself in my position, I'm that same nigga that you were when you were 17. You know what I'm saying?
I was locked up for assault 2, an escape, and a bail jumping. That's 3 felonies on one try.
Former Hit Squad MC K Solo spent 36 months in prison, starting in 1994. In the prison yard, he battled other MCs, including a then unknown rapper from Yonkers named DMX.
We went at it, and I was reaching for my shit. He really had me reaching for my shit.
Once released, both rappers recorded songs entitled Spellbound and claimed credit for the idea.
KSOLO, Spellbound. Me the DMX, cause I'm the DOPEST. I'm the KEVIM. My life is Spellbound.
I wrote Spellbound before I got locked up in Newport Gardens in Brownsville. Freedom, Rakim's Man, Seal, all them niggas heard Spellbound before it dropped. So why would you get in the world and say you wrote Spellbound of all songs when you know you're a dark rapper? You don't rhyme about nothing good.